The only problem with relying on false idols to guide yourself through life is that maybe you'll be relying on something that doesn't exist or won't help you in the first place. We're going to talk about that right now. Hello, I'm Jim Distortion. If you haven't seen my videos before, then please press the subscribe button. Once you press that button, a little bell icon comes up too. Press that and then you'll know every single time I post new content. Beware of false idols. What do I mean by that? Well, false idols was basically, if you didn't worship the one true God, then basically everything else around it was false. Voodoo, tarot, different things for different people who didn't have a belief in Christianity. Obviously that's a load of old rubbish because, as you know, that I think that religion is social control. So each different religion, be it Muslim, be it Christian, be it Catholic or whatever, you have a different rule book that guides you through your life depending on where you live and how society wants you to live it. So what do I mean by false idols in this way? I mean, I've noticed a lot of people reaching for the likes of tarot cards and spiritualism and mediums to guide their future and give them some kind of peace. If you channel tarot cards, for instance, we'll start there, then basically what you're doing is you're going to somebody who you don't know, who you are relying on the fact that they know how to read cards and they're maybe driven by a higher power to tell you the truth of what's coming, to tell you what your life is going to become. I think that it's a dangerous thing. Now, I'm not meaning that in a narrow-minded way. Okay, back when we were first starting Madhouse Tattoo, me and Dave, the tattoo shop we own in Stansted Abbots in Hertfordshire, I went to a tarot card reader in Cruise Hill. And they were in that porter cabin in a spiritualist shop. And I went to the back and I was very cagey about the whole thing. I covered up all my tattoos. I covered up, you know, I even wore a different jacket. It's the clothes that I wouldn't normally wear. Because obviously I know that people can pick up from the nuances of your clothing, of the way you speak. They'll ask you leading questions that then they can formulate their answers to. But this time I didn't give anything away at all. And this girl, who was in her mid-20s, blonde girl, just knew everything. Okay? I don't understand how. She knew about my past. And it wasn't like, oh, well, you were come from a troubled background. No, she said you were a drug addict and you've got through that. You're starting a new business. You're making forward plans. You're going to get married soon. Yeah, you're going to do all this. She knew everything. Okay. Now, I hadn't booked this appointment. My wife had phoned up and all she'd done is given her name, yeah, and a time, and said it was for my husband. Now, if you look at my wife, you don't equate her with me at all. She's got no tattoos. She doesn't dress the same way I do. It's completely different. Couldn't have given away anything. So what's basically I'm saying is she got it entirely right, and there's no reason for her to have done that. So there must have been something there. But what I'm seeing more and more is people giving themselves the ability to do tarot cards. You read a book and then you learn it. Now, that's fine, but you're giving yourself false hope by believing in false directionalist information. What I mean by that is you're providing information by your own recognition of symbols on cards. Not sure that that's healthy. I'm not sure that that doesn't lead you down a path where you're convinced that you're on the right road and maybe you're taking yourself down a dark alley. The other thing is, you know, reaching for mediums and, you know, ghosts, spirits. I've done that as well. I love it. I love the whole idea of it. And, you know, my wife and I have watched hours of Paranormal Lockdown and all these other kind of things, but I'm not looking for answers. I'm looking for entertainment, and I think that's the key to all of this. You know, it says before Ghost Adventures start, you know, this program is made for entertainment purposes only. And I think that says it all, really. Tarot cards, I am sure there is something in that. There must be something about ghosts that, you know, even if it's just something terrible happened and there's a residual energy left. So it's almost like an echo of what happened. It doesn't even have to be something terrible. It could be just something impactful or something that happened time and time again. I used to live in a small house in Wells in Somerset in Vickers Close, which is the oldest complete street in Britain, okay? Now, every morning I would be standing in the kitchen getting my cornflakes or whatever, and you would hear little steps walking down the kitchen, like steps to the kitchen. Okay, now every time I turn around, go and talk to my mother, and there was nobody there, or I would talk to my sisters, and there was nobody there. What I'm saying to you is that's a memory that happened millions of times. So those footsteps are just still there. Maybe echoes in stone. I don't know. What I'm saying to you is, false idols nowadays, to me, is anything that promises you hope where there is none. And by that I mean, don't rely on anything apart from yourself and what you can see around you about your future. Make educated decisions. Don't rely on some guy who may be taking your money, laughing at you and telling you fairy stories. Because if you do, then you'll try and blame them instead of yourself about your life. And fundamentally, ultimately, your life is in your hands. I don't believe that life is preordained. I don't believe that we're just walking along a path predestined by some greater power. Who was that? Because obviously my religion side of things, I think it's all social control, like I've said. So look after yourself, look after your mental health by not believing in false idols.
If you could subscribe, that would be awesome. Also, here's the last video. Have a watch. It's good. Here's YouTube's pick for you, because they know more about you than I do. Make sure you subscribe, press the bell. Nice one.